Welcome back. For this video, we'll be reading Exodus chapter 15. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sink into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together. The floods stood upright as an heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretched out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm they shall be as still as a stone. Till thy people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over, which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in, and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign for ever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots, and with his horsemen into the sea. And the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them, but the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness, and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord shewed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt do that which is right in his sight, and wilt give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 60 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. Exodus chapter 15. This is right after God divided the Red Sea, and the Egyptians pursuing them were engulfed and deceased. Verse 1 through verse 19 is a song that the Hebrews sang, detailing the events that just happened and what God did for them. And verse 20, Miriam, the prophetess, is Aaron's sister. She brings out a tambourine, and all the women went out with her and danced with their tambourines. In verse 21, Miriam encourages the dancers to continue. Verse 22, Moses led Israel into the wilderness, and after 3 days, they don't find water. Then when they find a place with bitter water, they couldn't drink it. The people complain to Moses, and Moses asks God for a solution. God tells Moses to put a piece of a certain tree in the water so that it can become fit for consumption. God then listed some terms for the Israelites to maintain their faithfulness. 1. Diligently listen to the voice of the Lord. 2. Do what is right in God's sight. And 3. Listen to his commandments. God reassures them that he won't put any of the diseases on the Israelites that he put on the Egyptians. Then the Israelites traveled to a land called Elim, where there were 12 wells of water and an abundance of palm trees. They camped there. Some highlights. They sang a song to God from verse 1 to verse 19. Verse 20, Miriam was named as a prophetess. This is a role other than housekeeper, wife, or mother. Verse 21, Miriam and the other women brought out their tambourines and danced, which sounds very similar to praise and worship, as she encouraged people to praise the Lord for what he had done. Verse 24, after not finding water for 3 days, they found bitter, undrinkable water and complained to Moses instead of seeking God themselves for a solution. Verse 25, Moses asked God, who gave Moses the solution of adding a tree to the water to make it fit for consumption. This is an instance of plant life as a godly solution for dietary needs. And then some terms were listed to test the Israelites. Some of the translations say it was to prove them. A test is a procedure used to identify or characterize a substance. Prove means to demonstrate as having a particular quality or worth. God's kept his covenant with the Israelites that was created with Abraham in Genesis chapter 17, verse 10. And it's not clear here that the Israelites are going to be grateful, because with slight adversity, they're saying, like in Exodus chapter 14, verse 11, when Pharaoh was pursuing them, and they said to Moses, why did you bring us out here to die? There were no graves in Egypt. And now there's God, when he brought them out of Egypt, he had to make sure that they didn't face any opposition with the Philistines. So he couldn't take them the short route. He took them the long route. And now again, they run into a slight inconvenience for 3 days. And, they don't seek God for themselves. They put pressure on their leader to provide an answer. So that is Exodus 15. The next upload will be Exodus 16. I appreciate you for watching.